up, my friends? How are you guys doing today? Welcome back. Thanks for stopping in. I hope wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you're feeling good, looking good, smelling good, loving yourself, loving where you're at, loving who you're with. That is what it is about. Today, guys, we're talking about a movie from 1992, directed by the notorious, the infamous Mr. Albert Pyun. If you know, you know. Now, this is called Nemesis. Now, before we get into this Terminator Matrix amalgamation of C-list proportions, hit that like and subscribe button. This stars Olivier Gruner and Tim Thomerson. Now, Tim Thomerson, if you don't know who that is, he was in Zone Troopers. He was kind of a big guy back in the late 70s and 80s. He was, you know, he's a decent B actor, I guess. I don't think he ever really went anywhere other than B films, but hey, you know, to each their own. You got to make that coin, son. So anyway, guys, this is Nemesis. This is about, when I said a Terminator Matrix amalgamation, it is something similar to that. There's a lot of futuristic shenanigans that happen here. We've got Alex, who's our, like, part man, part machine, LAPD cop, and data terrorism is like a big deal in the future, apparently. Which, I mean, I guess that's kind of, you know, a thing that's going on now anyway. But anyway, there's data terrorism. And so he's trying to, like, bring these people to justice. And one of the people he's bringing to justice says, you know, oh, you're a machine anyway. And Alex did not know that he was a machine, apparently. And so that makes him start questioning everything. He's like, what is my purpose? And then after that, he basically he has to apprehend one of his old colleagues and bring them in, and then questions are raised, and now he doesn't know which side of the law he's on. And it's a very futuristic story executed in a very sophomoric way. And let's face it, like I said, if you know, you know about Albert Pyun. This guy, he makes some of the best, worst movies. He has just absurd special effects that, you know, there's a difference between quality practical effects and putting peeled grapes on the outside of a flesh-painted watermelon and hitting it with a sledgehammer special effects, right? There's Gallagher, and then there's Stan Winston. This ain't no Stan Winston. Okay, this is let's smush the pumpkin with the red food coloring in it and make it look like a head popping. That's what this is. But it's so bad that it is deliciously good. Like, I could imagine that those sets in 1992 for this film smelled like just rotten milk and food coloring and sugar. I mean, it probably was awful, but it probably tasted delicious. When you get shot and the squib goes off and there's blood in your mouth, it probably tastes amazing because it's so sugary from the Caro syrup. But either way, guys, this is, I digress. You can tell my passion for special effects. But anyway, the special effects are ridiculous. The acting is silly, right? The acting is, I can't tell if this guy, he's like if Jean-Claude Van Damme and Mark Dacascos had a love child, this would be Alex or Olivier Gruner. This guy, I mean, he's got the whole, like, he's wearing the round shades like The Professional. He's got the haircut like Mark Dacascos. I mean, he's ripped like Jean-Claude. But his accent, he doesn't know if he wants to be American or if he wants to stick with his natural French accent. I mean, he's not a great actor by any means, but he pulls the action scenes off well. I mean, we've got scenes with the ridiculous spinning around in a circle, shooting holes in the floor so you can fall down through the floor without getting killed by the bad guys. We've got just ridiculous, over-the-top stuff like that, but I loved it. I knew what I was getting into when I watched the film. When I turned it on and I saw Albert Pyun was the director, I said, oh, okay, so this is going to be ridiculous, and I'm just going to have fun. I'm not going to put any stock in what I watch. I'm not gonna think there's any kind of meat and potatoes or dramatic acting or lighting or anything like this. This is pure food coloring, Caro syrup, and machine guns. That's all this is, and it was fantastic. I loved it because of its absurdity. There are some movies in this world that they are not meant to be consumed as normal films. They're not meant to be consumed in an artistic way. Let's face it, some films are made to just be trash. And that's what this is. But it's fun trash. Now, I'm sure when they made this, they thought, oh my gosh, I'm making one of the best action films ever made. You know, because you've got to have faith in yourself as a director. You got to have faith in your production team. You got to have faith in your studios and things like that. But when you look back on it, this ain't it. Right? This is not it. This is not a film where you think you're making something legendary. But at the same time, didn't you make something legendary? Because this is one of those films that if you watched it back in 92 when you were 8, 9 years old, hopefully your parents didn't let you watch it in 92. Mine probably would have. But if you watched this back then when you were a kid and you were 10 years old, dude, get out of town. You would have been talking about this movie into your 40s, 50s. I mean, this would have been one of those, like, core memory movies because of the violence and the nudity and just the craziness of it, right? But now, as an adult, I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's awesome and it's fun. It's fun, guys. This is one of those films that if you ain't seen it, you can check it out on Tubi or Pluto because it is absolute horse manure fun. I mean, laugh at it, at the absurdity, laugh at the ridiculous special effects, enjoy the eye candy, enjoy the action. It is just a fun movie to watch, guys. So you can check it out, like I said, Tubi or Pluto TV. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up because of just, it's fun, guys. But thanks so much for hanging out with me. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way out, guys. I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.